Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. When I last left you guys, we had a fun time defending ourselves again in despair and hope. We're moving on today to Chapter 9, which I believe is just called Gallia, if I'm not mistaken. Guess we'll find out in a second here. Yep, so to speak. Let's see what happens in Gallia. We're going to go visit the King of Gallia today. They're all things that you must know. Well, that's good to know, I guess. So we earned 908 gold. I don't know how we earned it that way, to be honest. Oh, because I sold some stuff. Spent a lot, though. I got a decent chunk of combat XP. Apparently our MVP was Boyd. I'm not going to disagree with that. So Soren is now telling us he's going to give us a battle report of the previous mission before each next one. So that will help, I guess. It'll just be nice to know. Alright, so we go immediately into battle preparations this time, which is weird. But let's go ahead and do some battle conversation or some base conversations here. The burden of unnecessary items is something I detest. Well, everyone's really slow, huh? Interesting conversation. Let's see what Mist has to say. Get a move on. Yeah, okay. Oscar again. What have you to say today? Huh. He doesn't look a thing like his dad. Oh, he wants to spar with a cavalier, does he? He wants to know the fighting style of knights. Well, that's fair. Okay, how about Mia? What does she have to say? She refers to Ike exclusively as boss from this point onward, I do believe. That must be nice. Oh, it's not so bad. Uh, I wouldn't know how, she says. That's very interesting. And Giant Tiger Man. So apparently the common tongue is not Mordecai's first language. Growls. I love it. Using words that many can hear is good. No, that's a very interesting way to put that. I like thinking about some of this stuff. It puts things into perspective sometimes. At any rate, we can do some more supporting. I'm actually going to have Ike support with Soren as well. Now, this same restrictions on support conversations apply in this game as it did in the Game Boy Advance games, and that you can only have 5 total conversations. So I can get one person to A rank and one person to B rank. I would have never guessed you weren't paying attention. When you're not feeling well, your left eye twitches. Deep down, you're a big softy, and there's someone with a very loud vehicle outside my house. That's wonderful. Don't let the... That was a really boring support conversation, actually. Not gonna lie. As for Titania and Riss, I'm not sure if I feel like supporting the two of them just now, but Titania is light, Riss is fire. That's okay, we don't need to do that right now. I don't think we need to worry about awarding any bonus experience just at the moment, although I did say I kind of wanted to get Ilyana topped off a little bit. Maybe I'll do that later. I don't think she particularly needs it right this minute. Outfit. Why don't I go ahead and sell some stuff first before I forget. You don't need this broken iron sword anymore. Not broken, but it's pretty darn close. Definitely sell that red gem for some extra cash. I don't think there's anything else I need to worry about selling. That longbow I don't need, but I'll hang on to it just in case. Might come in handy later when I get someone who can actually use the thing. So we're going to go ahead and grab a replacement sword for Ike. He doesn't need the pure water. Give him a fresh vulnerary. Titania is all set. I need a new wind tome for Soren, though. I don't like him getting weighed down so much. So, ooh, Elwind. Interesting. It only weighs 2. I could buy one, but I think I get one soon. You know what? That's too good of a deal to pass up. Let's grab one. Let's grab one. Nicely done. Alright, another hand axe I could grab. Steel lance, steel sword. Does anybody need any new weapons? I think we're good on weapons for the most part. Yeah, Boyd looks like he's doing okay. Put the poleaxe away for now, I think, though. I don't think he's going to need the speed wing, honestly. I think I'll put that away. Maybe give that to Ilyana. She might need that. We'll see. In fact, why don't I get it on her just for now, for the time being. I wouldn't mind Ilyana having a different kind of magic to use. I think I'll give her a basic wind tome. That way she can fight at full speed. Shop. Not shop, we want armory. It's weird It's weird buying books from an armory, but what are you going to do? Nope. Ilyana gets that one. There we go. And she has 1 strength, so she's not weighed down by it. That's good. Yeah, I think we're good everywhere else. So why don't we get rolling on the road here? As soon as I save, of course. So instead of 25 minutes of battle prep, we're going to do just 10 minutes today. Not even 10 minutes, really. Hasn't changed the slightest. Apparently Titania's been here before. Military Officer Exchange Program. That seems like something that they wouldn't necessarily do with a laguz nation, but what the heck do I know? Huh. You've been here too, Ike. Oh, isn't that interesting? Well, that was cryptic. She's so brash, it cracks me up. Oh, so now we learned that Mordecai is actually under Lathe in terms of the hierarchy here. Leith. I gotta start pronouncing her name correctly. You are a fierce warrior. When it comes to Bjork, you are far too stubborn. Oh, they smell iron. Interesting. The smell of Bjork weapons. Heavily armored and armed. Good. Well, they weren't wrong about that. General Kotov. That guy looks like a schmuck. Why are they operating in Gallian territory? How'd they even get here? Do they not have, like, border patrol or anything like that? I don't know. It seems weird to me. They're Daein men, alright. Oh, you ticked off Leith now. What now? What do you mean? We are going to fight. Because I fight for my friends. You guys were waiting for that, I know. Take mist and roll from retreat to the rear. Everyone who can fight, grab a weapon. Alrighty. Good times. So, something I'm noticing in the quality of my recordings here is that the music's way too loud and you can't hear any of the sound effects, so we're going to dial that down a bit. In the meantime, we're just going to bring everybody with us, no reason not to. Mia's going to go up to the top here, and there's a reason for this. In fact, why don't I explore the map first? So up here to the north is a sandy beach with a bunch of axe guys. There's pirates on the water, or brigands, I should say. Well, they're pirates. Mage is up here, and there's a couple of houses we want to visit, and I want to protect them from the bandits, so we're going to send Mia up this way for sure, because she can deal with them pretty adequately. I think I'm going to send Ilyana too. No, maybe I'll send her down the main route toward the castle here. She can deal with these Armor Knights guys a little bit better, I think. So maybe we'll send Soren up that way instead. We definitely want to bring a healer with them. But I only have the one healer is the issue, and I can't split my time between both places. So we got to be careful here. Titania can be in the back, I suppose. Yeah, that sounds like a decent layout, I suppose. So let's dig into it, shall we? This isn't a difficult chapter or a long chapter, but it's a little bit annoying, I've found. Just because dealing with that, splitting your forces and dealing with the pirates and with the main forces is difficult. What is Mist doing here? I made Riss teach me how to use it. And here comes Rolf. Apparently he's good with a bow. That's news to me. I just sort of picked it up naturally. Maybe I'm just a prodigy because I learned it all myself. This is ridiculous, he says. At least if they're nearby, they'll be easier to protect. Yeah, that's fair. I guess. Or they could just not be here at all and be a lot easier to protect. So as a result of that, we get Mist as a new unit. She's a cleric, so she's a healer. That's all she does. And she sucks. Right now. She actually gets quite a bit better later on if you put the time and effort into training her, but it's a big, difficult process. She comes in at level 1 with just meh stats. Like, come on, really? She does have 1 strength, though, which is odd, because I don't even think Riss has that. No, he doesn't. That's funny. So this 10-year-old girl is stronger than this priest. Who knows? Anyway, Rolf's the same deal. He's a level 1 archer, and his stats, again, are kind of meh. And if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I've used Rolf once or twice throughout my playthroughs of this game, and he never ends up turning out really all that good. Like, he's really just not worth the effort, in my opinion. My apologies if you're a big Rolf fan. I'm just not. So I probably won't be using him at all this playthrough, but maybe I'll have him help out in the chipping people department. We'll see. But at any rate, we're going to send me up here, like I talked about a minute ago, to deal with these schmucks. We'll send Soren up there as well. The nice thing about this now is we have 2 healers, so I can afford to send Riss up here. And we'll have Rolf go too, just for kicks and grins, I suppose. The rest of our forces will go the primary route. We actually have Leith and Mordecai on the board now. And as you can see here, they're pretty beefy. Well, at least Mordecai is pretty beefy. He's a level 2 beast tribe. He's a tiger laguz. They always have built-in weapons because they just turn into animals and beat the crap out of people, which are awesome, and they never wear out. And he has a laguz stone. We'll talk about that in a second. So, Mordecai also has smite, which is like a super shove. And you can see here that he has a transform gauge. Every laguz has this. And what that means is, over time, this gauge will fill up. And once it reaches maximum, they will automatically transform into their animal form. Now, bear in mind, laguz actually cannot fight when they're not in animal form. When they're in humanoid form, they are basically completely vulnerable. They can't really do anything. They can't even counterattack or anything. That changes later in Radiant Dawn, but in this one, they're basically useless when they're not in animal form, which is annoying. But when they are in animal form, their stats go up, and they turn into wrecking balls. To the point where Mordecai here is basically impervious to all damage that isn't magical. I think his defense goes up to like 17 or 18. So he's basically a giant moving, just a walking armor knight, or like just giant kitty armor knight. So good. Leith is a cat. She is not a tiger, so she's a little on the weaker side compared to Mordecai, but she is much faster. In fact, she'll double everything. She still hits really hard too. So her claw only does 8 compared to Mordecai's 9. She's got a little less strength. And she comes equipped with a Bjork guard, so any Bjork attacks do half damage to her, which is nice. But yeah, they're both really good. You'll see Leith's transform gauge is already at 16 of 20, and it goes up, I think, 4 or 5 every turn, so she'll actually transform right away on her turn. And she always does that, which is really useful to have. Mordecai takes a little longer to get going, but he's a beat stick when he's there. And you'll notice they're in yellow. We actually don't have direct control over them, but Ike has the ability to order them what to do with this direct command here. So if I direct them to roam, they'll just go and do their own thing. Halt makes them stay where they are. Avoid makes them avoid combat, obviously. And target tells them to go to a certain position and stay there. So we're going to have both of them just go right here. We actually don't want to involve them in fighting too much because they'll just wreck everything and we won't get any XP, so... But notice, by the way, I can actually use that direct command and it doesn't take up Ike's turn. And you can actually do that after Ike has moved as well. He can still do that direct command, which is very nice. So we've got just a couple of schmucks to deal with in the way. I don't see any reason not to send Oscar in first. With his Iron Lance, and we'll just get everybody else moved up. This, like I said, this is not a difficult map by any stretch. It's just that dealing with the upper part of the map, where those pirates are, and making sure you protect the houses before they're attacked, is probably the most important thing. Ilyana doesn't move very quickly, unfortunately. She only has 5 movement. I'll have Titania go with these guys too, just in case they need a bailout, so to speak. Although she doesn't move very fast in the sand. Here Leith turns into her cat form. Alright, let's see how we do against Mr. Myrmidon here. Shouldn't be too bad. In fact, I crit the guy. I will take it. Can't really complain about that too much. Let's see what we do on a level up here. Strength and resistance. I will settle for that. I really wish he had a little more speed, although with 13 strength, that now allows him to wield steel lances without any speed loss, so that's nice. Poleaxe. Ow, really? With as dodgy as she is, she got hit by that stupid thing? That's a bunch of hooey. Anyway. Here comes the banditos. And this is Leith about to explain to us what I told you guys already about directing them. That was an emergency. If you choose not to direct us, we shall do as we please. Do you find this acceptable? Yes. Well, I already told him what to do. I told him to stay out of the way. So, unfortunately, Ilyana's not close enough to deal any damage to these schmucks, but that's okay. First things first, let's go ahead and heal up Mia, because she got smacked in the face already. Not off to a great start in that regard, but that's okay. Weapon level up for Riss, puts him at level B. And we'll toast this here Axe Fighter with a Fire Tome. Probably should be having Soren use Wind Magic instead of Fire, but that's okay. You level up each level, each quality of... each flavor of magic, so to speak, independently, so... Just because you get stronger in Fire Magic does not mean you're any better in Lightning or Wind, and vice versa. Nice! There we go. I really wish Soren had just 1 point of strength. That would make a big difference. He is quite fast already, so it's not like it's hugely detrimental to him to not have any extra strength, but it would be nice. Let's put it that way. We're just going to put Mia right in the thick of it, because no reason not to. And this guy would be stupid to go for Titania. I'm going to give her a hand axe to make sure it doesn't work, just to make sure it doesn't happen. She doesn't have one. Crud. Well, I'll leave her out here anyway. They'd still be stupid to attack her because they can't do anything to her, but that's beside the point. Alright, so we'll just move on down the line here, I guess. Oscar's point's level 15 already. Holy crud. He's about to be even higher. As soon as I go to town on this guy. And I think Oscar can deal with that mage without too much difficulty. Ouch. See, that's weird because when I'm listening to this, I know you guys are hearing something different than what I am at the moment, but when I'm listening to this, the music's now very quiet. And the sound effects are very loud. But on the recording, after I listen to it, it's very different, and I don't know why that is. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll tweak some sound settings and try to find a nice comfortable spot. I know I mess around with it a lot, and that's my bad. I apologize for that. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you guys. I'm very much still new to this entire concept of recording setups and making sure everything works correctly. I don't have a fancy soundboard or anything, so I don't have the resources to make everything sound perfect. I'm hoping to improve upon that particular situation in the near future, but we'll see how that goes. Finances notwithstanding and whatnot, but my apologies if the sound quality is not up to par, so to speak. I am doing everything I can to rectify that particular situation, and we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Okay, she dodged that one. That's good. Even with that sword, she can't one-round these guys. They have a lot of HP. I don't blame her necessarily, but I can't wait till she gets extra crit rate and she can just start laying waste to people. Ow. That's not very nice. And here comes this. What is he doing? He's just walking away? That's interesting. Anyway, we'll have Soren deal with this fellow. Can Elwyn take him down? It sure can. Let's take out the Venom guy here first. Still can't quite one-round him, but as long as I don't get hit by that Venom axe, yeah, there's no way. There's like a 20% chance to hit me or something like that. It's pathetic. And we'll send Soren in. I think I'll take out the axe guy, actually. I don't want him laying waste to anybody, let alone Soren himself, so That mage isn't going to be able to do a whole lot to either of us. Well, maybe Mia, but she's fine. Let's get Riss moved up a little bit here. Alright, how we doing? There's not that many guys. I swear there was more in this level than this. Maybe I'm thinking of hard mode. I might be. At any rate, we'll move Ike right here. I don't think those armor knights move. They might. I guess we'll find out, huh? Steel Lance, Steel Lance. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody's hurt over here, are they? Nah, Boyd got tickled a little bit, I guess. Make sure we top him off. Like I said, Mist is not easy to level, as with this case with most healers, unfortunately, in this game. This and the GBA games is where it's hardest to level healers because they just don't get very much XP for healing, and they can't do anything else. And a lot of the staves that might give you extra experience as opposed to just healing, you don't get very many of them, and you don't get them till later. So you're really kind of forced, if you want to have a good healer and, you know, make them better, you just need to pour bonus experience into them, and it's a big drain on your resources, which is annoying, to say the least, but nothing you can do about it, really. Still going for Mia, it seems. No, missed that time. That's good. Thunder is a lot better in this game than it is in the sequel, and I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but Thunder's actually garbage in Radiant Dawn, which is unfortunate. It's actually one of the better ones in this game, actually. It has the highest might. It has a decent crit rate on it, too. Oh, come on, Ike. Really? Well, guess I gotta bust out the Regal Sword. Those armor knights do move, it seems, by the way. Obviously. And who do we have here? It's Marcia! We saw her ages ago. And she's back now. Well, what is she back here to do, you might be asking? Well, we'll find out momentarily. Let's see if Ileana can toast this guy. She can, with some L Thunder. Because he's so blinking slow, he can't, you know, avoid getting doubled. And here comes the crit L Thunder, which she does a lot, by the way. The L Thunder has some halfway decent crit on it. I think it's got like 10 or 15% built in. So it crits fairly often, which is nice. And we got to deal with this schmuck over here. First and foremost, though, why don't we take care of the Armor Knight? Steel Axe ought to do it. I don't quite kill him, unfortunately. I think Oscar might be able to take him down, though, after the fact. Boyd's almost got enough strength to avoid losing speed loss from the Steel Axe. I think he's 1 point shy. Let me double check on that. Yeah, he's 1 point shy from losing speed. Or from not losing speed with that axe. That axe. Oscar should be able to finish this guy off. Yep, no problem at all. Iron Lance will do the trick. Goodbye, sir. As you slump into your armor. I think I'll draw out that archer too while we're at it. No reason not to. Heal up Boyd real quick while I finish off that fighter up there. I think I'll direct our friends to move a little closer, just in case we need the help. And then I will destroy this guy utterly by hitting him in the face with a sharp sword, as one does. I do like the combat animations in this game, but I tell you what, the Radiant Dawn ones are spectacular. I cannot wait to show that game to you guys. It's going to be so much fun. It is my favorite game in the series, too, so that's especially why I'm looking forward to that. Alright, we're going to kill this guy before he gets any closer to those villages. We certainly don't need any of that nonsense. That guy is really fast, that Myrmidon there, it looks like. Goodbye, Mr. Pirate. That's a level up for Mia. What's she up to? 12 now, I think? Maybe 13? 12, yep. More strength! Holy smokes! She's as strong as Ike now. That's ridiculous. It's not saying a lot because Ike's a little bit hamstrung in the strength department right now, but we'll just L-wind this guy real quick. Hello, Mr. Rival Mage Man. My robes are awesomer than yours. That's got to be cool, being able to get hit by lightning and take no damage from it. I do like how they just kind of slump down and Wind level up to level C, I believe. Yep, there we go. Not bad. And this Myrmidon here. Move Riss in a little closer. I definitely want to not get hit by that guy. See, Titania's movement is very much hampered in this sandy terrain here. Nice thing about laguz is they have a lot of movement too. They're basically the equivalent of mounted units, but they don't count as being vulnerable to horse weapons. However, I do believe beast laguz are vulnerable to fire magic. So they don't want to go up against fire mages, certainly. Silly Myrmidon with his iron sword over here. Mages are largely unaffected by the desert terrain here, as you might imagine, as has been the case for a few games now. Here comes Mr. Archer. Whatever. I am not intimidated by you at all. And here comes Marcia. Oh goody, more people to fight. And what is this nonsense? Yar har ho. Yo ho har. Scallywags of the sea are we. We fight like beasts and men do flee. We earn our gold with axes bold. Yar, ye scurvy bilge rat. Why aren't you singing? What? He was, wasn't he? What in the briny beard of Shanty Pete is going on? You kelp-brained idiot. We don't turn tail from no government scum. Oh, the way they treat pirates in this game is so funny. Alright, so that was funny. At any rate, we're going to stop here for the time being and resume the rest of this chapter in the next episode. So thank you all for tuning into this point. I really do appreciate it. We're getting to the good parts now, and our units are starting to get really good, so I'm looking forward to that. But we'll fight some more pirates and some more Daein troops in the next episode. So until then, this has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.